In my last video, I talked about Save the Cat, about books on craft. I don't like to read a lot of books on craft. I have a few that I've read several times that I will revisit, and yes, Save the Cat is one of them. But again, the danger is books on craft, especially screenwriting, are about structure and approach. They are very specific, and it is very tempting to paint your story by numbers when reading these books and getting inspired by these books. And if you are doing that, then the work that you do is going to look like all the other work out there that feels predictable, that feels a little too familiar. So in ongoing conversation about structure is extremely important in storytelling. There is so much to do when, especially if you're writing a screenplay, that you need to achieve from start to finish. And I do believe in simple is better. Keep your structure simple, keep your arc simple so that you can then go into every single scene, all your building blocks of your longer narrative, and really let them live and breathe and bring them to life. It's not all about getting to the next plot point. I'm talking about creating a world, creating a character that's authentic, that has depth, or multiple characters that have that, and really letting us sit with them, spend time with them. And for me, in a greatly structured format, how do I structure it enough so that I have direction and can be as concise as possible to tell that story, but not be paralyzed by structure so that I feel like I am literally painting in the colors to the corresponding numbers and don't have any sort of like creative freedom in the process of doing the writing. And how I do that is I outline. Now, I have over-outlined projects before. I have had 30-page outline that literally listed all the slug lines. It had the beats and sample dialogue for every single scene. And I found that I was paralyzed by that structure. I felt that I was just adding a little bit of meat to the bones as I went through this process. And I was stuck. I've abandoned projects because of that. I've learned to outline 1-2 pages, very broad strokes. Have some notes for yourself. You can expand it as you go, but give yourself an overview of your world so that you have good, solid direction. But really spend your time in the scenes. Spend your time in the moments with your characters. Don't spend your time over outlining all the little bits and pieces of your character's journey and who they're gonna meet and what the colors mean. And you can do that later if you really want to expand on your world, but don't inhibit your own creativity by over outlining. But do yourself justice and give yourself a little direction by having a couple pages that you've spent a lot of time thinking about, that you feel good about, that makes sense in work, and that's sort of like 1 to 2 page format.